Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Texas Chain Saw Massacre, the game video. Today we have a brand new Muerto Times, which is giving us a look at an upcoming update. Don't have a release date on the patch yet, but this is just some of the details that will be in there. And this is a big one, by far the biggest one we've seen. So when they've been saying they got a big update in the works, they weren't kidding, because we're talking over 250 fixes in testing. That is a lot. Now, the weekly patches have been nice, but I'm all for just one giant update like this that's going to change everything. So they've clearly been putting in the work, but let's dive into this. Let's talk about this because there are some juicy ones. And it starts off with a big one that's been asked about for a long time. Grandpa cutscene missing. Grandpa Awakened cutscene has been replaced with a simple banner notification. It's been a problem since the beginning, the Grandpa cutscene. It can get you killed, it can cost you kills. It's really big when you're playing Leatherface and your chainsaw's revving up. Grandpa cutscene hits, and by the time you get back in the game, you overheat your chainsaw. But it can also get you killed all the time. You got Leatherface running at you, you're about to close the door, cutscene hits, you don't get the door closed, you get hit in the face with the chainsaw. So it was bad on both sides, it needed to go. And now it finally is just a simple banner notification. I can't wait to see just how much that actually changes the overall gameplay. It seems like such a little thing, but that cutscene, we have all seen it like thousands of times at this point. That could be a big difference. Might it take some getting used to? I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. But I'm seriously, I'm so happy that's gone because good Lord, it was a problem. Grandpa perks up. Grandpa perks unequipping match to match is a fix in testing. This is one that used to be a really big problem for me. I haven't seen it in at least a couple months now. Usually it's when you're leveling up. It's like when you level up your overall player level, then your Grandpa perk resets. I have not had it match to match ever since hitting max level, but either way, good to see it fixed because it can lead to you going into games and not realizing you don't have your perk set, and it could cost you. It could cost you. Some of those perks are really clutch. Local fuse box saboteur in town. Saboteur perk now accurately affects the fuse box as well as the generator. That's even more important with the fuse box. Since it's on a timer now and the family can shut it back off. Having Saboteur is now a way more important perk than it ever used to be because it does make a difference on the fuse box. You can add up to 15 seconds onto the fuse box. That is big. Family exploits valve. Ability used to instantly exploit the valve closing mechanic is being addressed. This is really annoying. Now I know the valve in and of itself kind of needs a bit of an adjustment, but this was still ridiculous where you could instantly shut the valve off as family. That's just not fair. That's a little excessive, but the valve may need some changes, but that ain't it. We shouldn't be exploiting to instantly close it, so I'm glad they're fixing it. Johnny's trail goes cold. Fixing testing for a bug that made the footprints disappear for Johnny almost instantly. Yeah, it happens all the time. Happens all the time if you're ever playing Johnny. You're like, all right, I'm stiffing the feet, and the feet just never pop up for you. All the time. All the time. That's really annoying, so I'm glad they're fixing that because he's already kind of one of the weaker killers. You definitely don't want his ability not working. 5 out of 7 victims agree. If a full lobby has 5 out of 7 victims ready, the match timer drops to 30 seconds. I don't know why they said victims here and not players because, there's only 4 victims per lobby, but I get what they're saying. 5 out of 7 players ready up, instantly goes down to 30 seconds. Thank you. It's just one more thing to help with lobby dodging, just speed things along because at the end of the day, I just want to play. I don't win, lose, I don't really care. I just want to play. So lobby dodging being addressed in this last update and now this, we're moving, we're playing. That's all I want. Just want to play the game. I just want to play the game, and that's one more thing to help out with it. Trail of Blood. The blood trails left behind victims will now match the console version on PC as well. I'm not sure how big of a difference that was. I don't know who had the advantage in that case, but that's interesting. Didn't even know about that, but that's big. That's big, I'm sure, because the blood trail is extremely clutch if you're using it effectively as family. So if it wasn't good enough on PC or console or vice versa, that's a big deal. So I'm glad that's being addressed. Security pin lockdown. Security pin's perk now only affects the cook's lock. This is one I was literally just talking about in stream last night. The fact that security pins also affected the lock underneath a padlock was really, really powerful. It took that perk to a whole other level. The perk's still powerful. It still makes those padlocks much harder to get through, but I honestly think you're going to see people kind of fall off on this perk after this update, because that's what made it really good, was it also affecting the lock itself, not just the padlock, because then players like Connie can go through that lock so fast. Use your ability on the padlock and then just pick the regular lock in 2 seconds and you're good to go. So this could actually affect balancing quite a bit. We'll see how it goes, but still, I do think it should have been addressed. It is a little overpowered, security pins. I'm glad it's being changed. I just want to know how much of a difference it's really going to make. Building up pressure. Turning off the valve will now repressurize the tank. Now, it doesn't make it clear whether or not it's instant, but it sounds like it would be a timer. You know, once you turn the tank off, it'll slowly repressurize. So if you're not right back on as a victim, you're basically resetting the progress. That's pretty big. That's pretty big. And you as family have a really big advantage there. If you were to just to camp it temporarily, depending on how quickly it repressurizes, yeah, you could just kind of sit there, wait for it to go back to resetting its progress, and then you can walk away. That's huge. That's going to be powerful for a family. You know, it changes Slaughterhouse. And speaking of which, Slaughterhouse Renovations, that's the next one. A particularly tricky valve tank will be relocated upstairs for better visibility. Okay, we've been talking about this a lot lately, and I really think that the balance changes a lot once you move the valve out of the basement of Slaughterhouse. I think family then has a huge advantage. You know, you go from having a victim-sided map that instantly were to become family side if you moved all of them up. Now, I assume the tank they're talking about is probably the lair tank, Leatherface's lair. That one was pretty bad. It's a long run to get to. I would assume if you're gonna take that tank, move it upstairs, it's probably going into the holding pen or somewhere nearby. So that would be my best guess. We'll see how that goes. But either way, that a tank is being moved out of the basement at Slaughterhouse. That is intriguing. We'll see just how big of a difference that makes. Smokehouse closed for business. The smokehouse door on the gas station map is being reworked. The way it's originally worded in the title of that, it sounds like they're just gonna get rid of it. I doubt it. They probably keep it there. But I tell you what, that smokehouse door goes away completely. It really becomes a family-sided map. It's still probably gonna be the most balanced of the bunch of the three so far. But yeah, that smokehouse door, it was the go-to. It was the go-to for victims. So are they going to completely remove it? Are they going to add where the generator is affecting it? There's actually a gate there where you had to turn the generator off now. That's what I would do personally, but we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. Cook ability tuning. Crouch walking will now hide you from the Cook's seek ability, and the duration of outlines due to detection has been fixed. Now, crouch walking hiding you from Cook's ability, that was already a thing. I don't know if they mean like speed crouch walking, or if you're kind of like holding the sprint but you're crouching. I don't know if that's what they mean, but yeah, crouch walking already did stop you from being pulled up by the Cook. And the duration of outlines, yeah, it should happen. The Cook can pull you up one time. The max level Cook can pull you up one time, and you'll be sitting there for 30 seconds in red. Everyone can see you, even though he's not pulling you up anymore. Yeah, it's pretty powerful. It's pretty powerful. So Cook getting a little bit of a nerf here, but I still think he's going to be extremely clutch. I don't think that's that big of a deal, but we'll see how that plays out. You don't know until you play it. Tie it off. Tourniquet perk is being fixed and will no longer completely remove bleed out effects. If you've seen this one before, you know it's bad. I mean, it's blatantly cheating. It is straight up blatantly cheating. The tourniquet, it makes it where you don't bleed out at all, and that's ridiculous. You could hold a game completely hostage. Like, you could bind the tourniquet perk with the car at gas station, which is now fixed. You can bind those things together, and you'll never die if there's a Cook and a Johnny, because no one can go in there and get you. It was bad. It was annoying. It's cheating. I'm glad it's gone. Hallelujah. Autoc Crouch toggle. Testing on a toggle for the Autoc Crouch so the players can choose to turn it off. Now, 3 months ago, I was begging for this. Now I'm so used to it that if I were to turn my Autoc Crouch off, I would automatically crouch on accident. It would just mess me up. So at this point, kind of useless. 3 months ago, that'd have been fantastic. I'd love to see it. But for new players, that's gonna be a nice little feature for you. For me, I don't think I could break the habit. I think I'm too used to countering it now. Nocell versus chainsaw. Nocell will now more accurately affect overhead chainsaw attacks from Leatherface. Just when you thought Nocell couldn't get more powerful, it comes in here and it really saves the day. God, Nocell is insane already, and now it's going to be even more powerful. So if you're not running Nocell already, I would get ready to, because it's about to be those Anas out there. Those Anas are about to ruin my day, I tell you. But that's the whole point of the perk. That's the whole point of the perk, you know. And you only get 3 charges with it, so I get it. Yeah, so that's why would you run it to not avoid the big hits from Leatherface? I don't get it. That's the whole point. So I'm glad it's being looked at, even though that is a very powerful perk. Now, a couple more things that are under investigation. Grappling tuning, grappling in general. I don't know how much you really changed at this point. Although victims are going to win a grapple 99% of the time, so I guess maybe that's what they're looking at, balancing that out. I don't know. Really doesn't have. If you get in a grapple, it's so easy just to kill that person. That could be something they're looking at too, though. You know, if you're in a grapple, maybe you can't insta-kill anymore. I don't know. We won't know until we get the details on that. Perk rebalancing. That's another one. There's a lot of things you could look at, whether it's bomb squad or violent, things like that. We'll see where they go with that. And party disbanding issues, seriously, please. For those of you out there that are playing, especially if you're like a 2 or 3 man squad, not a full squad, the party disbanding issues are so annoying. They're so annoying. Like if you want to leave the game, you die first and you don't want to watch a random person play as victim, you just want to leave, move on to the next game. Well, you gotta disband the party every time. Then when you disband, it can break and you can't invite your teammates anymore. You have to restart your game. It's really annoying. Please God, fix that. I hope that one ends up making it into the patch, but still under investigation. And then needs more info, issues with achievements and unlockables, and issues with perks and abilities. I don't know what that means, but sure, yeah, whatever. More the merrier. More the merrier. Wow, one hell of a Muerto Times here. They had to extend the whole image just to fit it all in there. Over 250 fixes in testing. I'm all for it. I'm curious to things that are not listed here, what else they're looking at. I, of course, love content. I can't wait for the new characters. I can't wait for the new map. That keeps the game alive, right? But these quality of life fixes, it's what's gonna keep players playing. It's what's gonna add to replayability. Because some of this stuff, once you experience it enough times, you're like, all right, I'm done. All right, this is making me mad. Grandpa cutscene, god damn it, I'm sick of this. Oh, I'm waiting in the lobby for 3 minutes to do nothing. God. There's a lot of things that are really annoying that they're looking at. They hear your feedback and they're continuing to fix them. So, hey, more the merrier. Keep rolling them out. I imagine this might roll out with the DLC update, so we could get overwhelmed with content all in one day, or not content, but changes all in the same day. But we'll see what happens. We'll keep you updated right here. But hey, that's my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. That's gonna wrap this video. If you enjoyed, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. And of course, as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.